real good. It's good. Good evening. This is the second part of how to develop precinct government. See, you have to develop two things. See, the thing about precinct, you got to develop two things at one time. And that's why this science is called human and community development. Because you got to develop the man, and you got to develop neighborhood. You got to develop man and neighborhood. Why? Because the man is broken down. That's why the neighborhood got broken down. See, because if man was keeping the law, he would never lost sense of his neighborhood. But since he lost that and was broken, he got broken down, you got to build him back up. What do you build him back up to? You build him back up to definition. Definition. You got to come back up to that. What do I mean by that? What is man? That's the question. What is man? And what is man supposed to do? See, this fella here is a particular thing. He's a particular person. He does particular things. See? Some of the things that he do in disorder is not him to do. That's a byproduct of him not doing the primary things. And when you don't do the primary thing, a secondary thing set off. If you don't have a holy matrimony with a one woman and love one woman in a holy matrimony situation, then he starts lusting after other women. That's a secondary thing. But his primary function is to have a relationship with a woman and produce children and raise those children in his house. That's his primary function. See, man's primary function is to reproduce himself on the face of the earth. His general function is to administrate the affairs of everything on the face of the earth. So he has a primary function and a general function. But when he's off definition, he don't do any of that. Look at the black man today in our city. I'm just saying our city because I can't see the whole world. He's off definition. And as a result of him being off definition, he murder, he steal, he agree with white folks to lie, to cheat. See? He's off definition. And his neighborhood ain't built up. His neighborhood is running over. Don't you know that when wherever a righteous man go, his space around him is clean? Because cleanliness and righteousness go together. But where a filthy lying man is, the place around him is always ragged and dirty. Because he ain't going to assume no responsibility for his environment. So, the man have to rise back up to definition of what is man. What is man? And I'm going to go through those things now. And then he have to arrive at a definition of what does his neighborhood look like. And what's the function of his definition. Of his neighborhood. Function of a neighborhood is not for Negroes running around with guns shooting each other. That ain't a damn neighborhood. That's a damn ignorant crowd.
That's a fool.
See? The function of a neighborhood is to operate in peace and in progressive things. See? Progressive things. How do you get your neighborhood from here to here in a progressive way so it benefits everybody in the neighborhood?
That's true.
Basically, neighborhood is supposed to benefit who first?
The people that's in the neighborhood.
Which branch of people? Which group of people?
The church.
Neighborhood is supposed to be set up to actually benefit the children. Because out of that neighborhood, you got to educate. You got to teach them how to carry on institutional traditions. So the neighborhood is built of adults to provide for the children and provide for the widows and orphans. Isaiah said to God, Isaiah said in the Bible, he says, God said, who will go for us? He said, I will. Isaiah, He said, but I'm from a people with unclean lips and tell lies. And so God purged Isaiah. And when God purged it, Isaiah went down and spoke for the widows and the orphans because they had nobody to speak for them. And so it is with us. We have to speak for the widows and orphans. Look at those two babies who was just killed down the street the other day.
Yeah.
Where was their daddy to speak for them? And where was their mother to make an account for them? You see what I'm saying? So you can see that the neighborhood is broken down. Where are the institutions that would have consoled the mother back to a state of health so she wouldn't do that to her children?
Thank you.
So we didn't have a neighborhood, we didn't have an accounting mother, so the mother went on and so said society.
And we didn't have a precinct person over there doing their job.
To account for the precinct.
Yep.
Because if something happened in your precinct, you the precinct person, you may not give account for it to white people, but you got to give account for it to God because He put you over there.
Yep.
See, you got to do it. So, man, how do we bring man back to remembrance? First of all, what is the first principle in the Bible? It's church, our Father, right? And our Father, that law teaches principle, right? And that comes from the church, right?
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Church function. So, this is a test that we live in a time where church don't teach principle, nor does it advocate it to the people.
No, they don't.
Because we are not principle people. See? We're not principle. But you got to develop a church that teach principle. If you go to your precinct and find one minister that's telling the truth, and that should be your church. If the minister's telling the truth, and you can't catch him in no lies, and you can't catch him stealing, and you can't catch him in no deceit, looking under women's dresses while he's in the pulpit, if you can't catch him doing, that should be your church. And then you should push that minister to preach the truth and to preach the day of deliverance. Day of deliverance is the day, acceptable day of our God. See? And you can see, preachers by themselves, they can push themselves. But without you pushing the preacher, he can't venture into that area that hadn't been preached before. For instance, what am I talking about? Say you was a preacher, James. Say in your precinct, you the governor of your precinct, right? You got 50 women and 10 men. And you got to get up on Sunday and preach holy matrimony. So how do you preach it?
Yeah, I got 10 men and how
Now
many?
you got 20 women and 10 men. And yet all of them got to be married. So how do you preach holy matrimony? Present a case, though.
Yes, we'll be
So you have to be sure enough down on the law to preach holy matrimony in that situation, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But you got to have holy matrimony, because if you don't preach holy matrimony, you're going to have a bust-up community. Women sneaking over other women's houses and all that.
And men sticking over men houses
And all that. You're going to have all that mess. But you got to get up on Sunday morning, after your Saturday night, your best study on Saturday night, and get up on Sunday morning in front of all your parishioners and teach holy matrimony. 10 men and 20 women. How do you teach it? And you can't use no rubs.
Right.
And you can't, you understand? You can't use a rub. No, we ain't here with Mr. Rub. We want to hear from you.
You want to know what you mean
Oppose it.
about
Text them.
matrimony. And we want to know what the Bible says about matrimony.
Yeah. I want to know what the Bible said. And the Bible does say something about it too. So, man have to come back to a state of principle. A man have to come back to a state of order. How do you bring a crazy neighborhood like we live in back to a state of order? See? How do you bring a neighborhood that we live in back to a stage of work? Back to a stage of psychological cleanliness, health.
I'll talk to my I'll get my psychiatrist together and talk to them and see how we can have clinics.
Psychologists don't know.
Who do ask God?
If they, who else can bring you back to the state? You gotta ask God. Who else you gonna go to? You can't ask psychologists. These psychologists.
See, I'm gonna go to God first.
Well,
And with everything, and then get the wisdom and knowledge from
okay.
Him to take it down to the next person that's up under Him.
So you gotta produce order, you gotta produce work, you gotta produce health, you gotta produce, you gotta, how do you procreate, and how do you educate? You gotta, all of these, you have to have the knowledge of all of these in you before you can advocate for a community. You gotta have all that in you. Hey, Ted.
Hey, Ted.
See, cause if this ain't in you, you ain't the man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you say, Harris, come to a workshop. The people over there, they got a problem with, say they got a problem with holy matrimony. And we want you to do a workshop with us through holy matrimony. Well, if I don't have the knowledge of how you get through your problems of holy matrimony, I ain't the guy. You gotta go find the guy. But I know before man can be responsible for community, he has to internalize these principles. Order, work, procreation, knowledge. He has to inculcate these principles in him so when he go out, he can teach it. Now, what the black community want to do, Ted, how you doing, my brother? What the black community want, they want to do part of it, but they don't want to do the other part. They want to do the part by setting government up, setting the structure up. They can easily do that because that's an easy structure set up. But they don't want to set the part up where they have to clean themselves up so they become the answer. See, once you're clean and your mind is in the mind and God is in your mind, you are the answer. You're the walking answer. That's why Jesus said, as much as man is led by the Spirit and does the will of God, he's also called the Son of God. And as much as he's led by the Spirit and does the will of God, he's called the sons of God. So the answer is in you. So when you go to a meeting, God done showed up. Showed up in you. But we don't want to get to, that's just too, that's it. I don't want to be that pure. See, I don't want to be that, I want to have a little sin. See, I don't want to stand out in the world like that. I mean, you know, I see a girl, I want to be able to go after her. You know what I'm saying? So the question becomes, how you doing?
Pretty good, how are you?
Good. So the question becomes, how do I put these instinctual drives in me to know these instinctual drives that I may do them in my community and teach my people how to do them? And that's how my neighborhood come out of this stuff. Do you know there's so much in the name? Can anybody tell me why people all over the world treat Burkina Faso different than they treat other countries? Just tell me why they do it. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Ibrahim in this country. Why do they treat them different?
They historically treated Africans as if they're stupid.
No, but I'm talking about this one country. Why they treat them different? They don't treat them stupid.
Because they've got a lead. Go ahead, sir.
He's independent. He's preaching, doing for yourselves, and he's doing it by setting an example by doing it.
Yeah, that's part of it. But let me tell you the real reason. See, when you go into God and you commit yourself to doing something, God hold you to that task, then he bless you to that task. So they went unto God and said, with Thomas, they went on to God and said, look, we will not be called up a Volta. We will not. We're called Burkina Faso, which means what? Land of the upright people. Upright. That means you come here, we're going to treat you right. Now, you don't think God will bless that country over others? He blessed that country over us. Why? Because they proclaim a position in God that we're upright men. And upright men don't take what men bow down take. That's why Ibrahim don't take what the president of Niger take from white folks. He kicked him out. He said, so we don't have the substance. We don't want it from you. We'd rather go hungry, drinking muddy water, eating cardboard, living in a hollow log before we bow down to America and Europe. We'd rather go it alone. And what he found out, that when he separated himself from their gifts and privileges, that he had the power to build up a nation with what he had. Y'all heard that song, we're going to build with what we got. Mm-hmm. We ain't asking nobody for a lot, we're going to build with what we got. And soon as people in America agreed to build with what we got, and we got a lot. We got children out there ain't doing nothing but wandering around, so we got labor. We got men who have retired off these jobs, who got skills and stuff. We got skilled people. See? We got money that we throw away in the lottery. We got money. So what we waiting on? Out of this neighborhood alone, $19 million a year go out this neighborhood in the lottery. What are we waiting on? Don't you know every day that you don't work and make a decision you ain't gonna do nothing? There's a day off your life that you went unrecognized by God. That you went unrecognized. But God recognized action. Like, show you what I'm talking about. If eagle's sitting up on a branch, Ted, and he's looking at, he's got to hunt, right? You know what he's looking for?
Right.
He's looking for movement. He's looking for movement. Rabbit jump up over here. Okay, I got it. But if he don't see no movement, he don't move. And God is looking for movement among us. Who's moving down there? God's listening. He's listening for spiritual arguments that he can come to your aid and say, you're right, do that. But if you don't bring up no spiritual argument, let me tell you what I'm talking about. Man put in the constitutional thought, develop a language. That language is what? Let us, man, M-A-N, making a nation. And when men talk about making a nation, God knows he's talking to some men. Men talking about playing with girls, I don't entertain that. He don't. Man, I'm going out, give me 3 of them girls. Man, God doesn't entertain that foolishness. But if you're talking about developing a nation, educating your community, bringing your kids out of the dogma that they're in, God is listening. His only question is, what do you need from me? And may not be the only thing you might need from him is a lot of prayer. See? But he always asks us every day, what you gonna do today? Besides, sit up and look at that ignorant TV.
Yep.
So this is what man needs, for him to speak to his neighborhood. If man ain't got, one other thing. I sold it. I had a stud, which means he ain't been cut, horse. He's the Appaloosa, the ones with the spots on him. Now, out at the barn, you can go in all the other horses' stall and do whatever you want to do. But you couldn't go in his stall and do what you want to do. You know why? He wasn't cut. See? He still had the law in him of what God put in him to be established. He knew what he put up with, and he knew what he wouldn't put up with. See, it's almost like the black man been cut. It's almost like we've been cut. White man come down and he says something, and we, yeah, I go along with it. And let me tell you who the ones that, let me tell you this. I think I said it last time. All the Democratic councilmen downtown receive that black money so that they can rerun again, dark money they call it. That dark money was presented to them by Republicans. So all of them downtown in office on the whim of Republican financing them. So now, Who do you think they're gonna speak out for? You? Republicans don't bother. So if the guy over the Cavaliers come and tell Griffin, we want to do this over here, like they're doing over at Glendale now. We want all of this over here. Give Michael White $15 million. We're going to develop all this for us. And the people downtown, they vote for it. Why? Because the white man won it. White man financed him in the government. And black folks can't seem to see it. So they go to the, oh, I like Michael White. Oh, I like Cromwell. Oh, all of them belong to white people. All of them.
I ain't been brought.
And I know this is going out over there. All of them belong to white people. If you want to debate it, come see me. We'll debate it. So they can't do nothing for you.
Nope, I ain't.
They can go act like they're listening to you. Then they'll come back and tell you, well, we can't do it. The board of zoning board won't let us do that.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
They let them do it, they just don't want
they
to.
don't want to do it. Not for you. Uncle Bubba come to them, they're going to do it for Uncle Bubba.
Or they gonna do it for the Republican that's funding them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, a neighborhood needs what? Needs a functioning church. Because you got to have a place to go to get the divine knowledge of God from. Because without divine knowledge of God, you as a man can't function. It's like your car without a battery. You take the battery out your car ain't going nowhere. You can't be, unless it's a stick shift, you can't even start it. Stick shift, you can push it and jump start it. But as soon as it cut off, you have to push it again. See, the neighborhood without a church, a spiritual father in the neighborhood, directing kids and directing families to do the word of God, if you don't have a correct church, you can't function. In the neighborhood, if you don't have businesses, if you don't have businesses in the neighborhood, you can't function. Because why a business? That's where the children get their first job opportunities from these little stores in the neighborhood. But let me show you how much integrity we had. We had so little integrity when the Arabs come, we just sold the souls to them. Not knowing there was incubator basis for our children to learn business and to continue to run business, we just sold it to the Arabs. Now the Arabs got your daughter and your wife in the basement having sex for soap and dishwater, dish powder. We sold it out to them.
They see
And
that
all
they
they
see that
did-
$90. That's all they were seeing in their mind.
They come with a suitcase full of money. And wasn't in there but about $50,000. And the average black
Once you
person-
spent it, they still rolling.
And they still rolling. Man called me the other day. Mr. Harris, I know we know you got that house on Homes. You want to sell it? I said, why would I do that? Normally I just cut him off and just hang up on him. But I wanted to try to get an intelligent conversation out of him. I said, why do you want to buy my house? Oh yeah, we're investors. What the hell you think I am? You think I'm gonna sell the house
Tell them you're an investor too.
that rented to me $43,000 every year? Sell it to you for $80,000. So I got 2 years worth of it. Yeah. Don't even make sense to me. Ain't that big food. So we need businesses. Now, because we have order in the neighborhood, we need government. Every neighborhood has government, and government is in there. It's in your councilman, it's in your precinct person, and in the way you establish your precinct.
It's in your county council.
Yeah, that's upper government. But I'm talking about in your neighborhood, you need government establishing it. And what does government do? It produces what? Order. Order. If your children need something, if your children need a special type of education, you subpoena the government to provide that for you. Your neighborhood also need what? Clinics. Because when people, we got to know what we die from. Most black folks die from eating fat pig.
Or
We
some,
do.
or some of them,
We
die
die
naturally.
We die naturally. They ain't
That's
naturally.
what they say.
He's carved your arteries.
I know, but they say, but sometimes they be like, oh, he died naturally.
Yeah, they say that. But how can you die naturally and you study stuff in
Natural
your
cause.
pig? Pig killed him. Tell the truth. Oh man, we didn't die because the pig killed him. Yeah. Eating all that greasy food down. And so the clinic is to hold seminars to tell people what constitutes good health, what constitutes good living, clean living. See, that's what the clinic does, hold seminars to do that. Then, how can a neighborhood exist without homes? See, you gotta have some place to live. Somebody in your neighborhood got to be a builder of houses. See, some builder of houses. Like your roof went out, Ted, and you got them people up there to fix your roof. Somebody in the neighborhood got to do it. Why don't we use somebody from the neighborhood as opposed to calling contractors all down by the rain to come out and put a damn roof on the house when a man down the street could put it on there?
If they know how.
Well, he wouldn't be up if he didn't know nothing. So, who gonna go way up on top of the damn roof if they don't know what they're doing? You see what I'm saying? There's people in the neighborhood that know all of this. Also, a neighborhood need what? You got children, right?
Yeah,
You got to educate them, right?
yeah.
Schools.
And colleges.
Well, that's continuation of education. But you need this for a successful neighborhood. And you need these institutions functioning for you while you develop these drives. What am I saying? Underneath everything I'm saying, here's what I'm saying. That if you don't have no integrity, you'll never reach this mark.
Amen.
A man who hadn't found something for which he'd give his life up is already dead. And the mere competition of blood running through his veins is an early announcement to a delayed death, but he's dead. If you develop these drives, insert them in these institutions, and don't understand how they go, you just living until you die. You living a good old funky life until you die. Drink your whiskey, you might as well go drink your whiskey. Have all the women you want. But producing something good, you can't do because you ain't fit to do it. That's why when Jesus, when he took his soldiers down to the water, Ted, and they went to drink, what did he tell them?
The one that died like a dog, don't take them.
Don't take them.
Take the ones that, cut.
Kneel on the knees, right? And you know why he said that? Because the one got down and left like a dog. They weren't even conscious of their environment. Who was behind them and who was in front of them? He said, just leave them. He said, because if they wasn't conscious when they took a drink of water, they won't be conscious on the battlefield. The ones who kneeled down and looked and then took a drink, take them. So if a man come to the now and hadn't developed his drives, he have no way to see what his neighborhood needs. And they can go around. I'm gonna tell you something. The majority of the Negroes in Cleveland now, if they live for 100 years, they can live in this funk for 100 years. They can live seeing babies being killed, put in suitcases. They can live like that. They can live seeing people step over trash and without picking up. They can live like that because they got a funky, funky way of life. And these drives never even appear to them until they come to a place where they can educate themselves out of that and come to comprehend these institutions and what these institutions are supposed to do. They have no wise. No wise. Can you see
They clogged up. Some of them clogged up.
all of them clogged up. They clogged up with the stuff of the world. But in order to see the kingdom, you know what Jesus said? He said, now in order for you to see the kingdom, you gotta let go of everything you think you own on this earth. And then when you do that, your vision becomes clear. Clear of what it is you need to do. Do you know, I knew Dr. King, yeah, I knew Reverend I knew the guy that died the other day, Bernard Lafayette. I knew Jesse Jackson. I knew all them guys. Because Reverend Bevel introduced me to them. But the thing, what I'm trying to tell you is this, is that once you start asking certain questions about yourself, it runs you into the people who've been working on it. Y'all heard the thing, when a student is ready, a teacher will come. Y'all heard that, right?
Yeah.
When you're ready, a teacher come. But you got to have a longing desiring you to do right for God to send a teacher to you. If that longing in you ain't to do right, but to still run around here 60, 70 years old talking about you got a girlfriend, a damn girlfriend, Ted. You ought to be a granddaddy with some grandchildren on your knees somewhere. You know, how would I look with all this up here around telling me I'm looking for a girlfriend? Granddaddy, what kind of girlfriend you want? You know what I'm saying? All children are my children. I accept all children are my children. You know why I do that? Because the law of man was implanted in me. And if the law of man is in me, children, I'm the father to all children. Whether you made them, you made them, you made them, you made them, don't matter. If a child come unto me and ask me, tell me he need me to do something as a man, I can't turn that child away. No matter who made the child. Why? Because the law of Father is in me. And until the law of Father becoming all black men, we will no wise look out after our children like we're supposed to. I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say. There's some changes we got to make in ourselves. See, God don't bless you because you flung a coin out of bed. God bless you because the condition your heart is in. You see, you can see two people do the same thing. But they have different intentions in their heart. And God blesses the heart. You see, Paul in the Bible used to kill Christians.